Welcome back to the course on audio signal processing for music applications. In the previous demo class, we introduced Audacity, which was a sound editor quite useful to do small edits and visualizing sound. In this class, we introduce another sound tool, SonicVisualizer, which is quite complementary to Audacity. It's more oriented towards research, and it has a lot of capabilities for analyzing and visualizing advanced aspects of sound. This is a tool that was developed at Queen Mary in London, and it's available under all the common platforms and distributed with a very open license, also the GNU public license. So it's a very good tool. I recommend you very much to install it and use it, and that will be quite useful for the class. So let's first go to where to get it. If you type in Google SonicVisualizer, it will show the page of sonicvisualizer.org, and in it you will find a lot of information about it and projects that have been using this tool, and also something that we will talk a little bit about it is the plugin system that it was developed together with SonicVisualizer, which is these bump plugins. Many people have developed analysis tools for SonicVisualizer using this plugin system, so we will be able to have access to quite a bit of algorithms and analysis tools for sound. If you go to the download page, you can get it for all these common platforms. In this class we use Ubuntu, so we downloaded the Ubuntu version. I already did that, so let's go directly to the program. This is the main interface of SonicVisualizer, and the first thing we do is open a sound file. This directory where I keep all the files I will be using in class. For example, let's use this speech female sound. Okay, this is the waveform. You can of course zoom in with these two wheels. That's quite nice, and we can play it.
This is the V of Vendetta.
Okay, the navigation is quite good and quite powerful. Navigate through the whole sound, so it allows us to zoom in into particular parts that we want to analyze. A basic concept of SonicVisualizer is the idea of panes and layers. Panes are basically these windows. So this is a pane in which we are displaying the waveform. Let's, for example, open another pane, which is, for example, the spectrogram that we mentioned also with Audacity. So in here we're visualizing the pane of the spectrogram, and here the control of the analysis parameters is a little bit easier, so we have it right here on the right side. So for example, we can increase the window size, and then we can zoom quite more easily and see the harmonics of this speech sound, and also we see the kind of the silences, and we see the areas in which there is some consonant, like these more darker areas in the waveform which correspond to these areas here. Okay, so that's quite good. For example, we can close this pane and now open another pane, which is a very useful one, which is the spectrum, which is basically one slice of the spectrogram. Okay, so if we move the waveform, the cursor in the waveform, the spectrum changes. Here by default the scale, the horizontal scale, which is what is called the beans, is in log scale. I really like better to use it in a linear scale. So this is a linear scale of the spectrum, and normally you would like to zoom in, or at least show the spectrum in a way that it optimizes the whole display range. So that would be a good way to display it. Okay, and this is quite intuitive, and we can try to understand things about the sound. So for example, here being in a voice part of the sound, we see the peaks of the harmonics. The shape that we see here are kind of the formants of the voice. So that's quite nice. And of course we can change the parameters quite easily. Let's go back to the pane of the spectrogram. Okay, and now we want to talk about the plugins system that it offers. So in here, okay, we display the spectrogram in a way that might be quite appropriate. And now I install several plugins, but first let's go to the page of SonicVisualizer, and we can go to the plugin page. So this is a description of the plugin system of SonicVisualizer, and it explains how it works and in fact how to develop for it. And there is a link to a list of the plugins that have been developed with this system, and there is quite a lot. So I downloaded a few. So if we go back to the SonicVisualizer program, and now here, for example, in Transform, there is a list of all the plugins that I have installed. And for example, let's use this audio pitch detector, and let's click at that, and this is the interface for the analysis. So this is a plugin developed by Paul Brasier, and the plugin actually was coded by Chris Cannon. And it uses one algorithm, which is the YIN algorithm. It's a algorithm that we will talk about in class for detecting the fundamental pitch of a sound. This is an implementation using the fast Fourier transform. And let's just say okay. Okay, so what this does is analyzes the whole sound and displays the fundamental frequency, and it's displayed on top of the spectrogram as a layer. So this is the other concept that I was mentioning it. So the layers are ways to display several things on top of the same pane. So here we are seeing the spectrogram, and on top of it a layer with the pitch curve that I have analyzed. So if we zoom, we see clearly this green pitch curve, and we will discuss this in class, but we can see that it's identifying the first harmonic of the sound, and in some areas that there is no harmonics, it gets confused, but in the voice parts, in the parts that are harmonic, it finds it quite easily. If we change the window size of the spectrogram bigger, so we see the lines more clearer, then maybe this becomes more obvious, and we can see that the pitch analysis did a decent job in identifying the fundamental frequency of this speech sound. Okay, and that's all I wanted to mention for SonicVisualizer. Let's go back to the slides. So you can go to the SonicVisualizer page to get information about the program. There is the plugin, the VAM plugin. It has a special page that you can access to it from the SonicVisualizer page. We mentioned about the YIN pitch detection algorithm. that we will cover later on, and there are quite a few references about it. And this speech sound came from Freesound. And that's all for today. So introduce another sound visualization tool that's going to be quite useful for the more advanced and scientific visualization that we will talk about in class. So thank you very much, and I will see you next class.